All right, ladies and gentlemen, Constable Hannah, Brandon Police Service here. You requested it, and here it is. Today we're going to do a tour of the Brandon Police Service police vehicle. Follow me. Alright, so this is what most of our patrol vehicles look like at the Brandon Police Service. One of the first things you notice on the exterior obviously is the paint job. In 2010 we began transitioning all of the patrol vehicles to black and whites. For visibility reasons, it's easily identifiable as a police car in the traditional black and white colors. Another feature that you'll notice along all of the patrol vehicles is a wheat sheath across. This serves two purposes, one for visibility and two to signify our status as the wheat city. If somebody is watching this not from Brandon, you may not be aware of that, but that's why we have the wheat on the vehicle. Moving to the front of the vehicle, you'll notice that most of the patrol vehicles have this big bumper on the front here. It's called a push bumper, and it's just another safety feature to help keep us safe inside the vehicle. There's also more lighting on the outside here for visibility purposes and to help clear intersections. So another feature that you'll see on most of the patrol vehicles on the driver's side here is a spotlight, and this is manipulated inside of the vehicle. The driver can rotate this. It's a high power LED spotlight to help us look for suspects, or if we need to find house numbers or something like that in the dark. It's a very handy tool. Moving to the top of the vehicle, obviously we have the overhead emergency lights. Very important if you see red and blue lights approaching that you pull your vehicle over to the right hand side of the road and stop, because that vehicle will be trying to get to an emergency and might be trying to help one of your loved ones. Some of you may be wondering why police lights are red and blue. One of the reasons being is that red lights are more visible during the daytime and blue lights are more visible at night. So by using a combination of the red and blue, regardless of the time of day, helps alert drivers. Another interesting feature that you may not be aware of is the amber lights on the back. Occasionally you'll see a police car with this amber directional arrow, and whatever direction the amber light is going is the direction that the police officer would like your vehicle to go. So they may be blocking a lane, maybe there's a vehicle broke down, or maybe there's a vehicle pulled over. But that's the idea with the amber directional arrow. If you see that, follow the direction of the arrow. Alright, it's a little cold out here and my camera's starting to freeze up, so let's move someplace a little bit warmer and I'll take you on a tour and show you the inside of the vehicle. We are at the Board of Works. We're going to do a walkthrough of the cruiser, and I have with me a special guest to help me with that.
Hey everybody, Constable Latreille, work in the traffic unit, and I've been with the Brandon Police Service for almost 12 years. Here is the police car in all its glory. It's painted pretty nice. We won an award years back for how nicely we decorated our police cars. Yeah, when I'm getting ready for work, I'll kind of do a quick walk around to make sure things are all top notch, nice and clean, and ready to go. So I'll hop in here. This is where we work for 12 hours a day. We have our computer here, our dispatching system, where we receive the calls for service. We can look at the details and do queries, look at maps, and do a lot of actually really cool things that allow us to do our job even better now that we have technology. Over here we have our radar unit. This is the counter. This is what would display target speeds and the patrol vehicle speed. And then over here on the left is the most important part of that system, is the actual radar head. And that's what is doing all the fancy science to detect vehicles that are speeding. Over here we have our controller for the lighting system. So with a few quick switches, we can activate the lights, or we can also activate the lights and the sirens. Right here. Right up here you'll notice we have a in-car camera. Every time we activate the lights, or if we manually turn it on, it'll record everything we are doing and saying. As long as our mic pack is on and is on us, it'll record everything we're also saying. Right behind me on the right You'll see we have two tools that allow us to get some dangerous work done. Here on the right, on your left, you'll see the carbine, which obviously is a lethal tool. On the right of it, we have a less lethal shotgun, is what we call it. And again, it's designed to deploy less lethal rounds. So both of them accomplishing a different task, but also both of them very important to have in our toolbox. And right beside me here, we have an armrest. It looks pretty big and chunky, but it's not just an armrest, it is also a printer. We use this printer to print out tickets whenever we are catching violators and writing them tickets. Very handy tool. Right here you'll see a card reader, and we'll use this to scan driver's licenses. When we scan the information, it goes directly to our tickets, which relieves us of some of the typing. Right above it we have our in-car radio, which allows us to communicate with other members on the street, and actually capability to communicate with other agencies if we need to. Let's have a look in the back seat. Hopefully the only time you'll see the back seat of a police car. We've got the windows tinted. As we open up back here, you'll notice a little bit of a different configuration than you're used to. On the window, we have bars that are very strong, prevent anybody who's in the back from kicking out the windows. You'll see there are no locks or handles on the inside of the door to keep the bad guys in. Next, you'll see the interesting setup of the seatbelt. But as you can see, it makes it much easier for us to unclip and then clip the seatbelt safely around the subject who may or may not be cooperating. So another feature, you'll notice that the seats are a molded plastic that are really made to contour somebody who has their arms behind their back with their handcuffs on. So try to make it as comfortable as possible. Next, you'll also see we have what we call the silent partner. It's our partner that doesn't say anything, but they actually help us out quite a lot by keeping whatever's in the back seat and keeping us safe while we're transporting people that are in our custody. We've got the trunk area of the police car where we keep a few other tools. Right up front, we have a case that has what we call breaching tools. These are tools that allow us in an emergency to get access into a door, a window, some quick way to get into where we want to go. Next, you'll see very identifiable some pylons. Each police car has about 5 or 6 of them that we can use at a traffic accident. Right here we've got a box that contains a lot of just supplies that we might need at any given collision scene or scene of a crime, just to help us process any evidence that we have there. To the left, we have a fire extinguisher. All of our police cars have fire extinguishers for us to use in a hurry if we need to actually put out a quick fire, which has happened quite a lot. We have finally what we call a stop stick. It's mounted on the back of the police car here, or in the back of the trunk. And again, the stop stick is used in a situation where we're authorized to deploy it during a pursuit, and this will safely release the air from the tires of the vehicle that we're pursuing, slowly deflate the tires, and safely bring them to a stop. Some more very important tools of the trade is a basic first aid kit. So we can get access to the basic things that we might need to administer some first aid. And also we have a fentanyl, we just call it a fentanyl kit. It contains naloxone and safety equipment if ever we need to get into an environment that might prove to be very dangerous and might be contaminated with drugs, but specifically fentanyl.
So that's the tour of the 2020 Ford Explorer police vehicle. Thank you to Constable Trey for giving that tour. I'm sure you guys are sick of seeing my face, so it's nice to have somebody else jump on the video here. If you guys have any ideas for videos you'd like to see in the future, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Tell your friends about us.
See everybody.